broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Guten Tag, everybody. Welcome to Outcasted OC in what is expected to be an absolutely amazing, I don't know what that is in German, so I'll just say it in English, reaction to what was the Bash in Berlin. I am your host today, Rudy Pucandias, aka Reese. It's going to be very interesting to see what all of the rest of the guys thought of the pay-per-view that took place on Saturday night. Sunday was better, but we're not talking about that. How are we all doing, guys? How's your week been?
I'm just trying to suss out your vibe right now, seeing how you're coming into this so I can adapt and I can redesign, rebuild, and reclaim my vibes.
Oh. Right, well...
Look at me go. I'm just on fire today.
Right, here's the thing. We'll get into it a little bit more when we go through like the matches, etc. But for me, I don't know. It just wasn't it. I'm just gonna throw it out there as soon as this podcast starts. Right? Okay. This for me was the worst PLE of the year. I thought it was
it's not
trash.
Been the best. I can't lie.
I thought it was so dull. I thought it under-delivered. I thought most of the matches that I thought was going to carry the show didn't, and I thought WWE weren't brave enough to make certain decisions in this night that they should have made. But regardless of that, let's just get into. I'm not going to follow the match card. Let's just like talk about matches as I see fit because I'm the host. I can do whatever I want. So let's get into the first match. Let's get into the women's tag team championships. We have got the former champions who were. Yeah, well, we have got the former champions who were the current champions at the start. The Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, defending against your current champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Court, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of this match?
I'm going to speak on the in-ring aspect first. I think Jade has improved leaps and bounds in the ring. I think definitely when she started with Bianca in a tag team capacity, Jade wasn't in the ring as much. She was saved more towards the end, but you started to see Jade get used a lot more during the actual match itself. The whole idea of them breaking down the veteran so that the rookie has to come in and make the save. We see that a lot within Jade and Bianca matches, which is fine by me. It's a good template to use while Jade's still learning the way in terms of how to actually wrestle in the ring herself until she feels comfortable enough to do like a singles match whenever that happens. However, I just don't understand this is the one match for me where I finished it and like I'm happy that Jade and Bianca are champions, but I just thought to myself, I don't understand the vision because the following night on Monday Night Raw, we then have a contenders match and then they then win it. So they are now the number one contenders for the belts when isn't the rematch clause a thing? Like, couldn't they have just played the rematch clause and be like, I want to get a rematch for my tag titles?
Yeah.
WWE are running really fast and loose with this whole rematch thing lately, I feel like. Some people get it, some people don't.
I just don't understand what's going on. Like, I that's all I have to say on this, is I'm happy they're champions, but I'm
not.
I don't understand it. I was like, what was the need? You've just taken the titles off them and then they've just basically won another opportunity for it. I just don't.
Well, I've just heard G there go. I'm not, so I'm going to go to you, G. What did you think of this match?
Okay. First of all, I'm going to put it out there. Those 4 women, incredible match. It's the outcome that I was not happy with. All 4 of them killed it. They put on a great match, great show. They overperformed as they should because those 4 women are all great in the ring. That wasn't the problem. The outcome was the problem for me. I don't understand. After one is it one pay-per-view or 2 pay-per-view? One pay-per-view.
This is the only time they defended it on a pay-per-view. I don't think they defended it at SummerSlam, if I'm wrong.
No, but they had defended it many times on like Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, they defended it on the actual television, but pay-per-view this is the first.
Yeah.
Right.
What's it been like? How many days has that been?
77 days was their title reign.
Okay, so after 77 days of doing nothing with the titles, and there's been no storyline really there with anyone other than Jade and Bianca. After 77 days, why are you going to take the title belts off Alba and Isla after they've not had chance to do anything with them? show their dominance as a tag team, or even build a proper feud or storyline with any other tag team. Like, why? To me, in my eyes, that is, you know, how they won at Clash at the Castle and Triple H went, oh, we haven't just given them these titles because Alba's mum died. That to me is, we just gave them the titles because Alba's mum died. We're going to take them off them the next chance we have.
Yeah.
I can see that. Ross, do you want to jump in? Do you want to jump in and tell us what you think?
I'm very much the same as G here, where a lot of my frustration came from just the outcome in this situation of the match was really cool. I love seeing the spot where Alba Fire jumped through second rope and just did a single arm like headlock takedown on Jade. I thought that looked awesome. Isla Dawn looked incredible in the ring. She really outshined, especially standing, you know, a lot stronger against just both Bianca and Jade, both comboing against her. She still held her own. I thought there were really cool false finishes in the match. So ring wise and storytelling in the ring, awesome. But my issue was that finish. I don't really think you ever should have put the situation of Unholy Union should have lost. The only union that they now need to look at is them going to a work union, because they should go and speak to Triple H and be pissed off about it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But because, like, look, we said the whole time, like, literally, I'm pretty sure everyone on the podcast all said when we did predictions, it'd be good for Unholy Union to win because it will shut the naysayers up about giving away the belts.
I think we were all in agreement about that.
Yeah.
I think that was our prediction for everybody. Like, for that, everyone had that prediction for the thing. I wasn't expecting it to kind of just like...
Yeah, no one thought that.
No.
It was nice to see the belt on a team that haven't been in the spotlight, and we were hoping for new things and better things and different things to come from that tag team. Yet you take them off that newly tagged tag team and give them to people that shouldn't even be in the tag team division.
I was just going to say,
I'll go one step further.
Alba and Isla are like one of the most established teams in the entirety of the women's division. They've been together since NXT. They've known each other since NXT UK, even well before that. Like,
and the thing is, everyone always makes the joke of WWE's women's tag belts are cursed. You don't make it any fucking better by booking these situations and these scenarios. As once again I said, I love Jade, I love Bianca, I love Unholy Union. Always have stated they are some of the strongest women in this division that I enjoy watching. They had opportunities for other tag teams to have interesting feuds with them. I'm sorry, Damage Control right now have been literally put on the fucking back burner of we don't know what the fuck is going on with them. And they're an established tag team because Io and Kyrie have worked together for literal years. Yes, Asuka is out on an injury at the moment.
And so
yes, Dakota Kai is as well. That does not mean Io and Kyrie couldn't have worked more on it. I also now know Kyrie had an eye injury where she's had to have stitches.
The amount of injuries as of recent is
exactly. The injury bug is causing issues, but once again, you've got other tag teams that are sat there and waiting. Look at the freaking new ones in NXT. Why don't we start implementing the NXT women tag teams back in again? Because I'm sorry, that tag belts have been able to go all three brands. We've seen that. I don't get how it still doesn't. Like, you've got plenty of good talent there. Like, they've just made Lyra Valkyrie go back down to NXT on this Tuesday.
And also
Caitlin Paxley.
Not to mention, it doesn't make sense for the tag teams to be defended across all three brands, but all three brands can't go to like main roster. So as you say, like the champions go down to NXT, they go to Raw, they go to SmackDown. But like as you say, why can't an NXT team come up and be like, hey, let's challenge these titles? But I want to quickly point out to you, Ross. I mean, when it comes to this whole Damage Control thing, they've got Io Sky doing the speed tournament, so she's sweet, she's set. We only get to see her for 3 minutes.
Which is once again.
Speed title. What the hell is that?
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing quickly before we eventually get into Reese's thoughts on this. I just, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about when stuff like this happens and it doesn't necessarily go to plan. I'm always thinking about when Triple H said in that WrestleMania documentary, we know where the end goal is. the journey and the destination is going to change. So I'm hoping that that kind of comes into play and proves me wrong in how I feel. But it just doesn't make, honestly, like I said before, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you have them win the tag titles for them to lose and then on Raw the following day have them win the contendership for it? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
I get part of how they're booking that, because they're booking that as they don't want to just do a rematch and just get it handed to them. They want to prove, no, we are fighters. Yeah. You were lucky on that night of us winning.
But then at the same time, why do you have a team like Alba and Isla drop the titles when you've had a team like the Judgment Day who have held the titles for 2 months and haven't defended them once?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that got referenced on Raw this week too.
It literally was a case of, we're in Scotland, give them to the Scottish team and we'll take
because they weren't going to have Drew win. Because they weren't going to have Drew win, so they were like, we need to have something.
But even then, hometown favourites and stuff like that shouldn't impact them winning or losing.
No.
Because you have to rightfully give a reign. You can't go... I've always looked at wrestling as the belts are an acknowledgement of the achievements they have done. This is the reward. This is how you get pushed. You can't just slap a belt on them for a couple of days and be like, look, we're just doing it because you're at your hometown to make people happy. You're probably going to lose it in a month. I think that's quite disrespectful to the talent, because you're basically saying, look, we're doing it to make just people happy, the fans happy in this location. Where instead you could just be like, look, we want to give you a short reign. How do you want to go about it? And like collaborate more on those type of things.
And you also said something earlier about like the tag titles being cursed. Didn't we have like a vignette saying that the Unholy Union were the ones that cursed them?
Cursed it. Yeah. So why are they?
Why didn't we play into that a little bit more? I remember talking to you about that after the show, G. Why couldn't they play into that more? You know?
Yeah.
Reese, what are your thoughts?
If I'm honest with you, I just thought I'd let you just carry on speaking, just because I thought I was interested in what you were saying. I like the dynamic of the fact that it looks like G and Ross were unhappy that they lost the titles, but Court, you didn't mind that Jade and Bianca won, but at the same time you shared the same thoughts. I thought that was pretty interesting. But what I will say about this match was I did like the tactics of Unholy Union breaking down one at a time, trying to isolate one of either Bianca or Jade. I thought that was great tactics, like you say. Alba Fire really shone for me in this match. I thought she carried the match in general. Like, I thought she worked well with a lot of people, and she really carried her team. Not to say Isla Dawn wasn't great, but I think Alba Fire put in the work for most of it.
She was basically ragdolled at the beginning, so she was very much a big seller.
Yeah, exactly. What I will say is I don't really understand. I mean, because everyone said that the Unholy Union was going to retain in our predictions video. I was very surprised that everyone said that was going to happen. But what I will say about this is I'm not sure about this rivalry that you're going to be building with Jade and Bianca. Eventually, I think WrestleMania is the goal. I understand that maybe like a bit of like tension between the two is a bit early to start now, just because obviously we've got about 9-10 months to build that. I get that, but there's other ways to do it instead of just putting a championship on them. I just don't understand why you would put it on a team like Jade and Bianca when you've got actual teams now that are in the women's division, like your Damage Control, like your Unholy Union, like the Pure Gillette Fusion Collective. Like all of those people just on Raw are going to be like building up to like come for the championships, and you put it on two single stars.
I get that. I honestly think, and this sounds really hard. It's not harsh, but I think this is just realistically what they're doing. They're waiting to figure out what's going on with Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
From there, because Bianca hasn't beaten Charlotte. That's the last of the 4 horsewomen she has to go up against to say that she's beaten all 4 of them. Obviously, we know that they want to do something with Jade and Charlotte. And I think it's just figuring out what's going on with her and seeing how her recovery process is going, because she is, whether or not you want to admit it or not, She is a massive anchor within that SmackDown women's division, and she is necessary and needed for those feuds to go any further. I don't understand. Like, for me, in the back of my mind, they're doing this whole Grayson Waller, Austin Theory slow turn on each other. They dropped the titles months ago, and they're still able to continue that storyline.
Exactly.
So to say that Jade and Bianca needed the titles to continue their downfall with each other is I don't find that factual, because there's so many different examples of that happening without somebody having a title. It's not necessary and it's not needed, and the title shouldn't be treated like it needs to be the centerpiece of a feud. We've literally just seen that with Punk and Drew, and we'll obviously get onto that when time comes, but I just really don't understand what's going on, and I just raise my hands up, I sit back, and I just kind of let it all unfold in front of me. I just don't know what's really going on these days.
I think it's definitely a misstep from WWE. I mean, it's one of those things where if you want to keep them together as a tag team, that's fine. But you've got someone on the main roster there who also isn't doing anything, who is their best friend, aka Naomi. You've got Blair Davenport, who is teaming up with their Unholy Union. How about you just make it like a 6-person feud for like a couple of months and see how that turns out? I don't think
they started doing that and then they just stopped.
Well, exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to have the titles involved in those matches. That could just be like a grudge feud. Like I say, there's a lot of weird things going on here. Like you said, they won the number one contenders match on Raw. Odd decision. I'm not really sure why you would even bother taking the titles off them in the first place, because it leaves the door open. Like, I mean, surely they're going to win them back in the next match.
Yeah. Well,
because there's going to be interference.
I think right now there is a huge gap in the women's division as well. Like, I get what Courtney was saying about waiting for Charlotte Flair, but if we actually sit down and look at it because of the injury bug, I think they're really struggling for like tag teams or where to do booking in general, because Becky obviously has gone out, having a long hiatus. Charlotte is injured. Shotzi injured, who was teaming with Tegan Nox. So obviously Tegan Nox has.
Tegan Nox missing as well too. Yeah.
Tegan Nox has not been on television because obviously Shotzi was tagging with her, so that sucks. That Tegan's not. Raquel had that skin condition, so she's had to take extensive time off to get that sorted for herself. I'm just trying to think of more Oscar.
Well, I'm not being funny. It's emergency times. Emergency times, like extreme times, cause of extreme measures. I can think of at least 2 tag teams on NXT that can easily come up. I mean, obviously you've got Jasmine Nix there. I understand that she's a rookie, but Fallon Henley and JC Jane are more than ready for the main roster. You've got Fatal Influence there, and you've got the Metaphor, Jakara and Lash, who again, in my opinion, is more than ready for the main roster. You could bring up. I know she's still a bit green, but you've got Kiana James there to hold a hand. Why don't you just bring Izzy Dame up, and then you've got another tag team?
Kiana James?
Yeah, I don't
know if she's also injured or not, but yeah.
I've no idea.
Honestly, just put out an open challenge and be like, we've literally run through all the teams on the main roster. Like, who's next?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you can get something going.
NXT's also got this collaboration of TNA now. So why the hell don't Bianca and Jade go, let's have some fun on NXT. We've seen TNA people come through. Go and do an open challenge on TNA and see what women's tag team from TNA come out. You could get some absolute great teams from there. Sorry. Give me Danny Luna. Give me Team Spitfire.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love that. I think it'd be really cool to see, man. By the way, speaking of, just a bit quick plug for next week's NXT, Jordan Grace opening a Knockouts Open Challenge. That's going to be really, really cool to see.
Nice.
As far as this match goes, I'm going to go through it, and I just want a yay or a nay for this match. So, Court, yay or a nay?
It's kind of a nay. Like, it was nice to be like, oh yeah, Jade and Bianca, but then just the consequences that come from it is just a bit.
Okay, fair enough. Ross, yay or a nay?
Yay for in-ring ending, nay. So majority nay, because as Court said, the repercussions after,
Can't argue with that. G, yay or a nay?
It's a nay from me.
It's a nay from me as well. You're going to be seeing a bit of a trend of that throughout this show.
Bring the vibes back up, guys. We got it.
Right, okay. Speaking of matches that were Terrible. Let's go on to the tag team match. Again, we might as well stay on the tag team theme. The mixed person tag team match. We got the team of Dominic Mysterio and your women's world champion, Liv Morgan, taking on the team of the Terror Twins, even though they don't look anything like each other. And there's like about a 15-year difference in age. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
You're mad you got your prediction wrong. That's why you're upset. You're mad that you got it wrong.
You're literally wrong because you got your prediction
You literally
wrong.
have.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what.
Sorry, sir. Does that mean Ross got one more point and you lost a point in this situation?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you mean. No idea what you mean. What was that? Sorry, what was that? You don't want to talk about this match and let's move on. No, I agree. No. Anyway, right, Ross. Seeing as though you want to pipe up and have a chat about it, like, what is your thoughts on this match?
Personally, loved the match, loved the in-ring work. I think there was a lot of fun out of it, especially Judgment Day getting involved. Finally getting to see Rhea do a full circle moment of when she used to choke out Dom in the corner of the ropes when he was with his dad to now full circle. Mr. Dirty Dom got the treatment of it as well. I liked seeing them both hit their finishes at the same time as well, Rhea and Damian. Just thought it was a cool thing. I understand a lot of people are upset by it because Dom and Liv technically did need this win to carry the feud and carry the whole storyline of we cut off the dead weight. But at the same time, Damian and Rhea both just being former champions, it kind of feels like Triple H wanted to play it safe of where their push and their build was at the current time. So he did exactly that. I was happy with the outcome regardless of who was going to win because I know more storyline from the Judgment Day is just going to come from this. And we literally did. We got, the Yeet Twins is what I'm just going to refer to them as now.
I love it.
I enjoyed having Damian and Jay in a team together. That was a lot of fun for me. Yeah, I have nothing wrong with this match. I know a lot of people are upset about it, but for me, I was thoroughly entertained and enjoyed. And that's
you're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong anyway. What do you think?
I'm wrong.
No, he's just upset that he wasn't in that position that Rhea had Dom in.
I think that's most gentlemen. I think that is most gentlemen.
And me as well. A little bit disappointed.
Well, that is my last name anyway. So, G, what did you reckon?
I fell asleep during this match.
I don't blame you. No other thoughts apart from that?
Liv Morgan border that much.
What did he say?
No, that's all good. Just go.
What did he say?
I said Liv Morgan bored you that much.
No. The one time I actually want Liv Morgan to win and she fucking loses? What?
Liv Morgan's like, watch me. And she's like, nah.
Don't they always say never bet against the Queen. That's Charlotte Flair. You just, can't say the same for LEM there.
I don't know. I didn't watch most of this match, but I wasn't happy that Liv and Dom didn't win. The thing that really wound me up, the thing that made me that was like the most. You know how Rhea always said Dom's such a child for eating chicken tenders, and then she did that thing where she celebrated with Damien eating chicken tenders,
wearing the Yeet t-shirt. She knew what she was up to.
She knew what she was doing.
She knew what she was doing. Love it.
Well, I'm glad she knows what she's doing.
I feel like Liv and Dom did need the win on this one, but obviously we don't all get what we want, so yeah.
Considering what happened on Raw, I think Dom and Liv definitely needed the win.
Yeah.
Because Judgment Day are just getting buried at this point. They are. They really are. Like, they have no offense against these two. Like, nothing. Literally nothing. Like, Finn Balor has been like, I'm backstabber Balor. I'm going to come and mess your life up, Damien.
But he's so afraid to go. Ooh, he goes up to somebody behind and goes, never mind.
I actually think Finn's going to speak to some old pals and get some enforcers to help him out.
Wait, Solo's going to help him?
No.
Taking it
and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu. Wow, that's very generous of him.
Look at my thing.
You're not wrong. You just want to see him so you can noodle over him. That's what it is.
Oh, for God's sake!
Well, that's how she feels when he comes on the screen.
She just got freaking RKO'd out of nowhere with a camera. Just,
It was crying. He pulled the wire.
That is so funny. That's
Cool.
so funny.
What did you think of this match?
I loved it. I loved seeing my girl just absolutely decimate everybody and just completely remind everybody of why she is who she is. I partially agree with you in saying, you know, like this could have been a really great way to show dominance for Judgment Day. But I think the way that I took it is it goes to show how integral and how strong Damien and Rhea were in the Judgment Day original faction to give it the legitimacy that it had back then. And they're struggling to find that same level of aggression and offense when it comes to these kind of matches. I've seen people get upset online being like, oh, Triple H always brings in people with the letters RR and doesn't let Liv Morgan have a legitimate win. Rhea's just a better wrestler and she's the safer option. So take that as you will.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
You know what I mean. I spoke to you about this privately.
No,
you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, no, it took me a minute to work out the wrestlers' names when you said RR, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it pretty obvious? The man, Becky Lynch.
Funny.
Lynch, yeah.
But I actually also think, I know we were talking about a couple of weeks ago about this going on to Mania. I don't think this is going to go to a Mania. I think Rhea gets her title back at Bad Blood. I think that's how soon this is going to finish.
Do it!
And I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it because why not?
I wouldn't mind it.
And then you can find a way to have if they wanted to do this, you can find a way to have the Judgment Day in like a war game scenario. And since we've just seen the alliance of Damien and Jay, they could help out the Judgment Day, and then you could bring in Sammy.
Inevitably, it's good when Rhea getting the title back. Yeah,
and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. She looked phenomenal in this match. You could tell that she was just like a really heartbroken woman who used her frustration and her anger and like got it out on a lot of the people in the match. I was just on the edge of my seat watching her get all her offense, and I was like, yeah, girl, you get it. And then Damien just did a great job too.
I just think for me that this was the perfect scenario to give the heels the victory. I mean, there was nothing really on the line here apart from getting one up on your opponent. And seeing as though there's going to be more serious consequences in the future, like for titles on the line, who's the dominant faction, I think this was the perfect place here to give the Judgment Day a bit of a leg up. But like I say, because if you look at this match in hindsight and how things turned out on Raw, they look crap. Like they got hardly any offense in this match.
Are you talking about
Judgment Day? Pardon?
Are you talking about Judgment Day?
Yeah. They got no offense in this match, and then on Raw they got beat down again, and then they've been getting beat down for, like all the way through from like SummerSlam. Like for me, this was a misstep from WWE. I understand that people wanted to see Damien and Rhea go ham, and yes, they were the most integral part of the original Judgment Day, but a little cheating here and there, doesn't make them look weak. It makes them look like the Judgment Day need help, to beat the powerful Rhea Ripley and the dominant Damian Priest. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, both, you get your heat back if you lose by cheating. Like, do you know what I mean? They really had nothing to lose in this match. And I thought it was a massive misstep for me. I thought this was maybe the worst decision of the night in terms of matches and in terms of like who wins and who loses. I don't know. I just thought it was a big mistake because I don't care about the Judgment Day anymore. I don't care about Finn Balor's whole I'm going to get you back, Damien thing anymore. Because it means nothing. Literally everything they've been doing. What was the point in Liv Morgan joining the Judgment Day, helping Dom win? It literally like she's chosen the weaker side. Like it's for me, it's a very odd direction that they've taken it in. Yes, I want Rhea Ripley to win the championship back at Bad Blood, but I want to go into that match thinking that, Liv has had the upper hand. What a bitch. Do you know what I mean? And she's not. She's made to be look like an idiot ever since she's won that championship.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like Liv's whole motive was, I'm going to take everything that you love and everything that makes you you. So she took the Judgment Day, she took Dom, she took the title, she took Rhea's family, but I feel like Rhea's come out on the better end because of it, and it just feels it's not like a mission accomplished. It's like a, oh shit, like we'll get him next time kind of thing.
So yeah, it's like Liv Morgan's turning around and going, I'll take the bins out for you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll take your shit. I'll take every shit part of you, and I'll just take it for myself. Like, that's what it looks like at the minute, and that's what I don't want. I want Liv Morgan to feel like a cocky, bitchy heel. I don't want her to look like a cook. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what the hell's going on?
I don't know. Just.
My logic behind it is basically original Judgment Day never really needed a leader. They all knew each other was strong enough to have each other's back, and they all had their strong suits. Whereas the new Judgment Day, because it's drawn away, they feel like they are going to need a leadership, and it's not really been clear who is going to be doing that. A lot of people are going to say it's going to be Liv Morgan because she's world champion. I still think we could see Finn finally tap back into the old Prince style of him. I
always thought it was Finn.
And this is what I'm saying. I don't feel they have clearly made that leader. I get the idea that Finn has picked his target in Damien because he sat and waited and had that bullshit happen to him of the whole, you got distracted from your title opportunity, all of this stuff going on. But I feel like Finn and Damien storyline can finish at Bad Blood. Finn will take the win, become the leader, and I think he'll add some extra people into his group that can stop Damien, can stop Rhea. But we'll have to see where that goes with that direction. But that's how I see the feud going.
For me, you want to throw when she gets better. I would quite like to see Raquel join the Judgment.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I think Liv and Raquel, because they used to tag together, I think they could work really well, especially Raquel being a powerhouse. And Rhea and Raquel have had great matches against each other when they have.
I'm just thinking, I was trying to think, how would you sell that to the fans? But that's not my job. It's not my job.
It's not my job either. But like the way I would do it is, I mean, if there was going to be any way to do it, here would have been great. Like I don't know. Obviously, she's not well at the moment, but like at some point, I don't know. Rhea's about to go for the Riptide, and then all of a sudden, from like nowhere, she gets spun around into like the Chingala bomb or something like that, and like it's Raquel Rodriguez. Like I think that'd be dope. As for like a male person joining the team, screw it. AJ Styles isn't really doing anything at the moment. Throw him in it.
I was actually going to say add Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and then start using JD McDonough and Finn as actually powerhouses and mid-carders because Good Brothers are doing nothing. They are constant. This is another problem with the male tag teams. You've got certified tag team bangers there and you don't push the belts on them. You keep them on Fraxian. Don't get me wrong, Fraxian are freaking amazing, but
it depends on who you are.
Hang on a moment. Whoa. Hang on a moment, good sir. What do you mean the Good Brothers aren't doing anything? They're having a blood feud at the minute with Hank and Tank, baby. Honk, honk.
Yeah,
what do you mean not doing anything? Hey? Best team in NXT, Hank and Tank.
Did you watch the NXT review? Then you would know.
Not doing anything. It's nothing of value, is what I'm saying.
It is. Hank and Tank had a great barbecue, and the Good Brothers had to ruin it. Is there any better feud in wrestling right now than Hank and Tank versus the Good Brothers? No.
Any fucking other feud.
Yeah, Drew Punk. Which I'm also not happy about.
Right, we'll move on to that in a moment, but as like I did for the last match, I'm going to go to G, yay or nay for this match.
Oh, nay. 100% a nay.
Oh, nay. Ross, yay or nay?
Nay, yay.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a nay. So that was like I don't know, maybe like a half horse.
I was just baiting you. It's always been yay for this Terror Twins match.
Oh, shut your face. Court, yay or nay?
It's a yay. It's a yay.
Right.
See,
okay.
you're just
great.
mad because Ross and I predicted it right.
I'm not mad. In fact, no, I am mad. Not because of that. I am mad though. It was such a bad match. It was so rubbish. He had so much potential. While we're halfway through, G, if you don't have them now, I'm not gonna pressure you. Do you have the results?
there is.
Updated predictions. He wants.
Yes. Well, let's hear them. Let's hear them before we move on to the next match.
Okay.
Oh shit!
As we stand, we are 53 matches into the year.
Oh.
In last place, we have Russ with 31 and a half. He still remains the half.
He still
out
has
of
the
53.
Love it.
In fourth place is me with 38. In third place, the guests have managed to bump me by 1 with 39.
Oh.
In second place is Reese with 41, and in first place is still Queen Court with 44, sorry.
Oh, we're so close!
I got one prediction wrong at Bash in Berlin. I got everything else right. I just got the women's tag titles wrong.
Yeah,
you can almost reach forward.
3 out of 5, except Court, who got 4 out of 5.
Mate, I can almost reach forward and give you like the ego's edge and like throw myself into first place.
I'll get Joe on you, and he can go.
Yeah, well, he lost, so you know that proves my point. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on to a strapping match of Drew McIntyre versus the Second City Saint, CM Punk. What do we think of this match, G?
It was glorious. It was so glorious. Everything of my glory was in this match. Honestly, Punk put on a great show. Drew put on a great show. I thought they were both fantastic. Everything they did, the moves they did. Punk on Drew's back, tapping them after Drew had tapped them, and Drew didn't even realise.
That got me so much.
It was gold. It was such a good match. I'm so happy CM Punk got his first win after being back with WWE. That was his first pay-per-view win. I'm so happy for him, and I'm so happy that he got his bracelet back. And yeah, I think I want to see this feud carry on, but from comments CM Punk has made online since that match, I think it's coming to an end. Because he said in a recent interview that he's beat Drew now and wants to move on to gold.
Did you watch Raw though?
Yeah.
No,
did you watch Raw?
I didn't watch Raw.
Oh, okay. So I'll give you a little quick synopsis. So he came out, started cutting a promo, talks about how he wants to go after Gunther, right? Which that is essentially a rumor for Survivor Series. So he was doing it, and then he was celebrating, and then Drew McIntyre came and beat his ass, took the bracelet, broke the bracelet, put the beads down his throat, and then he was getting carted out on a stretcher, and then Drew McIntyre is still beating the crap out of him.
Yes. Raw was better than the match.
The girl who made the bracelet, every time it gets featured on TV, she tweets about it, and she had said something along the lines of I don't want to talk about this one, guys, because the bracelet's broken.
Oh, by the way, that's actually not that's not the official bracelet.
I know. It's a good thing it's not the official bracelet, because could you imagine if you were a fan watching that and just seeing them break your bracelet? You're like, oh my gosh.
Boo. If you're a true wrestling fan, you would have been proud to see your bracelet get broken. It's part of a wrestling storyline.
Anyway, I just haven't had time to sit down and watch Raw fully this week.
So that's basically what's happened.
Well, I'm surprised I didn't see that on TikTok or anything when I was scrolling. That's mad. But okay then, I'm happy with that then. I can chill a little bit. Knowing that it's going to carry on. It's going to come to an end at some point, but I'm just loving everything they do. The fact that they've took this, the best part about it is we know they're friends behind scene. You saw that picture I sent you of them stood ringside, basically chatting.
They Jay chilling.
Yeah.
But
it makes everything better because they're making it so personal when they're in character, in storyline, and it's just great. And honestly, I don't think anything's going to beat this for feud of the year. So yeah, I was very happy with this match.
Yeah,
100%. Court, what did you think?
Very much the same as G. I really enjoyed the match. The part that got me the most was when Drew was going for all the turnbuckles, and then every time he turned, Punk just tapped it as well, and eventually realized. Was it as good as his dog collar match that he had against MJF? No, because I feel like that was a different version of CM Punk that we had back in AEW, which is absolutely fine. I think he put on a really physical performance and proved a lot of people wrong in terms of the fact he can still wrestle in a really physical style and still come out on top like he did. Strap matches are going to be one of the hardest matches that you can do in terms of your cardio has to be up and your ability just to be able to endure all that physical pain. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm totally down for a third match. I feel bad for the girl who made the bracelet, though, just seeing it be broken on TV like that, even though it's not the official bracelet. But I was stoked to see that Punk won. I think it was a necessary win. There's a lot of people that I'd heard were saying something about, well, why did Punk feel the need to do like 4 different GTSs before he went to the turnbuckles? But I think it was just so that he could show people that he could, and he still can go. Because I think after like the second or third GTS, he was, Drew was in a state where Punk could get all 4 turnbuckles, but I think it was less about how was Drew in that moment and more let me prove everybody wrong by showing them I can fight in a very physical style. So,
well, the reason why for me, like why he hit the 4 GTS is because like even though he hit a GTS, Drew was still trying to pull him away from the turnbuckles when he hit one. So like before he went to the 4th one,
total during the entire match, 2 earlier on, and then 1 before each turnbuckle.
Before he went to the 4th one, like Drew was trying to still pull him away from the 3rd one, so he hit the 4th one, and then he was completely knocked out.
Yeah.
So
that's what happens when you go to sleep. You get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 99. Ross, thoughts on this match?
Yeah, so now we know that CM Punk has the weakest G2S out of everyone because of how many times he actually had to hit it throughout. Kenta has the best one because Kenta.
Oh god!
This Ross that we saw last week, where he was talking about how he loves CM Punk and how he wanted CM Punk to win, is not the same person I'm looking at right now, and I'm not happy about that. What happened to the Ross from last week? I thought we were starting to become friends.
I'm still happy Punk won, but I just think.
Well, you ain't giving me that energy. You ain't giving that vibe from me.
Yeah, I just think the finish was a bit shit. I think it undermined his finishing move. I get what you lot are saying.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
I see it the other way. I think it makes Drew. I think it makes Drew look like a badass.
A finishing move that is meant to knock someone the fuck out, that has multiple knock someone out with
but
one
look
hit.
At the size
6
and
in a row.
muscle difference between Drew and CM Punk.
It's a literal kneecap to your fucking temple.
Your boy never actually hits the temple, so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and then but that kneecap's also made of like.
It didn't make Drew look tough. It made Punk look weak.
No, that knee's made of like paper mache anyway. It probably fucking injured himself doing it.
Literally.
Be positive.
It was a good match. I liked the same spots you guys did, except for the multiple G2Ss. It wasn't needed. There could have been cooler ways of doing it. That's just my opinion.
I thought it was a solid match. I think this match was the first or the second best match on the card. I thought it did exactly what it said it was going to do. It was a strap match. What do you want at the end of the day?
Yeah, exactly. What do you want?
Yeah, it's a strap match. Like you can't really
G2S that does the purpose of what it's meant to do.
Yeah, but when you've got somebody like a Drew McIntyre, when you've got somebody like a Drew McIntyre who we know how strong and powerful he is, it just goes to show you it takes 4 GTSs to put that man away. It's like when Bronson Reed tsunami'd Seth Rollins 6 times. It shows how powerful the finisher is and how much that person has to be chopped down for it to be actually effective.
When Bronson Reed did what, by the way? Sorry.
He tsunami'd Seth Rollins like 6 times.
Sorry, I can't understand it. You have to say it properly.
No, I'm not doing it.
I'm
not giving it to you. Because I can't do it like Pat McAfee can do it. I thought you couldn't understand me for a second. I'm like, bitch, I speak English too. The fuck?
Oh, no. I was trying to make you do the Wade Barrett tsunami.
I can't do that.
Also, the difference is Bronson Reed did it to actually do extensive damage.
Oh, yeah, but that makes Bronson look
So did Punk! So did Punk to keep Drew down!
Bronson look weak.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Innit, Bronson? Pussy. Yeah, I hope you see this, bitch.
He broke rib cages and stuff. Yeah, sure, Bronson's the weak one in this discussion.
He is.
Anyway,
the weak one.
What a pussy.
Has anyone else got anything to add to this match?
but he's like a feather anyway. What do you call it? Yeah, I thought Punk did quite well in this match. I think this was the best match that he's had since he came back to WWE. I know that's you can't really pick from a lot, but it was the best one that he's had. It was better than the one at SummerSlam. I think it's a sobering thought to think that the last time CM Punk won a match, I was 17 and a half years old, which is crazy to think about, to be honest. But I tried to not think about that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what we're going to be getting at Bad Blood, because it's either going to be like a 3 stages of hell match or like a Hell in a Cell or something like that. It's going to be great. It's going to be dope. It's feud of the year, 100% feud of the year. The best part is like the best part of this feud doesn't even come from the matches. It comes from the promos. It comes from the attacking from behind.
The Twitter stuff.
The Twitter stuff. It comes from the stuff that you've seen like on like Raw this week. Yeah. That's the best part of the feud. Like it's great. Really good.
I think they could do something similar to when like Triple H and Randy Orton win at like the houses. I think that's as far as it can go. I think they could do something there, and then that's how you see AJ, and then you just see Larry like running away. Larry. I just think it's possible we could probably get like a home invasion angle or something very similar to how Seth Rollins was at Edge's house drinking his orange juice and eating his apples. I think it's the exact same thing. I think we could see something like that.
You see like Larry at Drew McIntyre's house eating his haggis. Like, haha. I'm at your house, Drew.
What Larry speaks to.
Yeah.
Larry's banned off television.
Is that all right?
Larry's banned off television.
Larry can cut
a
sick
promo. Like CM Punk said, Larry can't be on television. He got banned. He said it at a Comic-Con.
It's actually so heartbreaking.
Larry can cut a dope promo. I don't think I've ever heard it. But anyway, going through this match, Cut, are you giving it a yay or a nay?
I'm giving it a yay because I love CM Punk, and I'm so happy that he won. Yeah. Okay.
Pepsi Phil gets a yay from Core. What about you, G? Yay or nay?
I mean, she did just drink a Pepsi, so if that doesn't say anything.
When you were drinking the Pepsi, then I was thinking, is she thinking about it or is she giving me an answer? Ross, yay or a nay?
Oh, it was going to be a yay, but then you all started attacking me from my opinions of the G2Ss, so now I purposely...
Oh my gosh.
Well, just have that.
No, it's fine.
Right,
it's a yay.
right. You know what? Moral of the story.
Stands be happy. It's a yay.
Why do you hate on everything?
Moral of the story. Just have better opinions. And it's going to be a yay from me.
Funny.
I don't hate.
Well, let's move on to the 2 World Championship matches. Let's go for the first one. Let's have the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defending his WWE Championship against Kevin Owens. Court, what do you think of this match?
For me, I was focusing less on the in-ring aspect and more of the in-ring storytelling. I was focusing, and I was watching Kevin Owens more than anything else, because you could tell that this was the moment that a lot of people had been saying that Kevin Owens was going to be the one to turn on Cody Rhodes, and this is going to be the prize fighter coming back. We've heard it multiple times on commentary, seen the evidence of it, so I was like, cool, let's wait and see how we go. And obviously we didn't get that, which is fine. I do think it is a slow heel turn for Kevin Owens. It was just interesting watching him get those opportunities to take to, gain control within the match over Cody Rhodes, and he chose not to take it. There was that moment where he could have gone after Cody's knee. He was going to, but he had to pull himself back. And it's very interesting that during this match on commentary as well, too, they were talking about how it's been 8 years since he's won like an individual title. And obviously that has plagued Kevin Owens so much so to the point where Kevin Owens is questioning, do I actually still have that within me to be able to be that person, to be that champion, to be that prize fighter again? I do think we might see something again for Cody and Kevin Owens if Kevin is turning on Cody. I just don't know. I honestly wouldn't have minded if Cody had lost, honestly. But we didn't get that. We're probably not going to have that until at least like next year sometime when he goes up against The Rock at WrestleMania or whatever you want to do in that aspect. But I'm intrigued to see where this Kevin story's going. I think that's more exciting for me than Cody defending the title. It's more exciting to see, is this person going to tap into their old killer instincts that they had to help themselves get gold in the future. Because Wade Barrett had referenced it on commentary, like, where are your killer instincts gone, Kevin? Like, this is not the Kevin that we once knew from NXT. This is not the prize fighter that we once knew. The guy who beat down on John Cena. Like, this is not the same person that we're seeing today.
It kind of reminded me of the story that they try to tell with Will Ospreay, like refusing to hit that one specific move that turns him into. Yeah. Like Kevin Owens refusing to hit the buckle, not the buckle bomb, like the apron power bomb. Yeah. Ross, speaking of Ospreay, the AEW guy, what do you think of this match?
It was alright. It wasn't anything screaming home. It was a good match between two friends, and getting to that level of okay, do we push our friendship aside because there's actually a championship on the line? Do we push ourselves to those limits? I think personally, Cody Rhodes acted more of the heel in this storyline. Like, Kevin Owens really hesitated and wanted to make sure he was okay. And the fact of, like, Kevin was like, dude, do you want me to stop? Are you okay? Is your leg okay? To Cody's like, I'm fine. And then just punched Kevin one. I was like, yeah, that's more Cody heel. So I feel like everyone's like, Kevin's going to turn and be the prize fighter. He can still be a prize fighter and not be a heel. I actually think it's leaning towards more Cody is now doubting his friendships, pushing the limits of them, and he's getting frustrated that everyone is still one-upping him, especially with this bloodline stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like Cody heel turn is more looking possible.
I think it's maybe less of a heel turn. I think it's just more arrogance that we're seeing from Cody. I think
maybe
we're
more of like a between
seeing the whole champion status get to his head. I want to give everybody who's my friend an opportunity, but not actually helping them in a positive way towards them being who they truly are. Like, I think for me, a really great way to describe it is if you look upset and your friend says to you, like, are you okay? And you say, yeah, I'm fine, the first time. That's where you leave it. But the more that somebody, if you don't look like you're okay, the more somebody keeps asking you, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You're going to get annoyed. You're going to be like, can you just leave me alone? Because I told you I was fine the first time. And you kept going on and on. That's how I feel like this thing with Kevin Owens and Cody is. I actually feel like that's the best way to describe it is Kevin is the friend who is just sitting there quietly, minding his own business. He's fine. And Cody's the friend that keeps antagonizing him, asking, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And he's like, I'm literally fine. Just leave me alone. Like, I think that's the problem is Kevin is fine being how he is. He just wants to go on and do his thing. He was even questioning, do I deserve this title opportunity? But Cody was the one who was pushing, being like, no, you deserve it. You deserve it. Like, where's this person we once knew? Whereas Kevin's like, bro, I literally don't care. Like, I just want to just exist in peace and harmony. So I can see what you mean in terms of like heel turn. I wouldn't really call it heel turn. I'd call it just Cody not knowing the decisions that he's making and how it's affecting other people.
Hubris. It's like his own hubris. Like,
it's more of a tweener, as like a lot of people say. I feel like they're pushing the he's going to have a more aggressive edge to people that he
that he's friends with,
going against them, people that aren't really his friends. Like, I feel like the Randy Cody situation, I feel if that still happens at some point, I really hope that's when Cody gets the heel turn in that situation. I don't want it to be Randy. No offense to Randy. I think his best work is when he's a heel, but he's had his time being a heel multiple times and shining. I would love to see him be the babyface and have the betrayal out of nowhere happen to him instead of how he normally does.
Just this version of Randy, I think, is fine to have him in a storyline with Cody. I think Cody's getting in his head so much, and Cody's getting so arrogant with all these people that he's basically trying to push in a match. He's just pushed Kevin Owens for one. Kevin Owens didn't want one. He pushed AJ again for another one. Like, if this is the same version of Cody that we're going to be seeing when it comes to this eventual Randy match, I feel like the way that you could write this is that, like, Randy could be like to Cody, you didn't think you were good enough, so you went off and did your own thing. You made a name for yourself outside of WWE, and you became so much of a star in your own mind that you thought that you were so much better than you are, and you forgot everybody who helped you out along the way. And it's like pushing him down the era of his own ways, and Randy has to be the one to bring Cody back down to earth to be like, bro, I helped you? Where was the thank you for your help? Where was the, oh, Randy Orton's somebody who I really appreciate having in my corner? Where was the, you celebrated with me after WrestleMania? We could tweak that story a little bit because we know it actually happened. We could have a moment where Randy's like, you actually never came to privately speak to me after WrestleMania, after I came out and celebrated your win. You never said thank you for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just the dynamics that we could kind of play into, because I think everyone's thinking Cody babyface, Randy the heel. Why don't you tweak that a little bit? You know?
Yeah. That's a good point, to be fair. G, what do you reckon?
I can't say much more than what you guys have already said. I agree with most of the things you've said. It was a great match. Both guys put on a performance. It was really great to see Kevin Owens, like you said, when he saw Cody at his weak points, not actually go for it and take control of the match, where he thought, oh shit, my friend's in trouble, should I stop, should I help? And then Cody's like, no, I'm just going to go for it. It was nice to see Kevin Owens couldn't take that extra step to do what he needed to do, and I think that's why he ended up losing in the end. He valued his friendship with Cody more than he valued winning the title, if that makes sense.
I feel like that was the story dynamic they went for, and it worked so well.
It did.
He valued his friendship, but obviously we do see these kind of tiny heel turns in Kevin, as we've been seeing with the whole promos and that they've been doing the past few weeks on SmackDown and that, and it would be nice to see Kevin eventually turn heel and go for the belt again and actually win it. That'd be nice. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think even if we don't get to see a heel turn for Kevin Owens, I would just really like to see Kevin Owens just remember who he is and bring that killer instinct out in him when it's necessary. You can still be a good person and you can still look out for your friends, but then is a line that you can cross, that you can tap into when you need to. It's like Randy goes ahead and says, I'm not that same person that you guys used to see behind the scenes that's constantly causing trouble. And this was back when he was a heel. Sorry, microphone for tapping you. I didn't mean to do that.
That's all good.
But it was just like Randy knows how to tap into that legend killer version of himself when he needs to. We can have the same thing with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens needs to find it within himself to be able to say, this killer instinct that I'm pulling out in this match is absolutely necessary because the person who's in this match with me deserves to be beaten down by me because they are a terrible person. You don't just go around and doing it all the time. You tap into it when it's necessary and when it's going to help you in the match. I think that's what Kevin Owens needs. He needs to find it within himself to say, this is acceptable in this form, but outside of this match, I'm not going to act like this. And I think that's where he's somewhat teetering. Is this morally right for me to go ahead for my best friend's knee when he's clearly in pain? And that's what we were seeing in the match, is he couldn't bring himself to do it. I don't know. It's just, there's so much nuance to this. I think the story for me is more interesting, and the character development is more interesting than the actual match itself was. It's not to say these guys didn't wrestle well, because they did. It's just the story is more interesting in that aspect.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head for that one with, like, as you rightly explained, where a lot more of the character aspect for Kevin Owens blurring the line of where do I initially tap into was what got everyone fixated on this match. Like, as I said, they can wrestle good. They always have done. Like, Cody's good. Kevin Owens is good, but it's the aspect of the future potential storyline that was more interesting. So it made the match a little bit less.
But the way that it finished as well goes to show me that this isn't over. Like, there's still more story they can pull out of it, for sure.
I feel like I'm about to crap all over this. I was very underwhelmed by this match, and I don't think it's got anything to do with the match itself. It was a fine match, but this has really shown me something that I've been holding off saying on quite a long time, because I feel like it's a harsh thing to say. But I think I need a break from Kevin Owens, and it's because lately, and I say lately, I mean for the past two or 3 years. Once you've seen one Kevin Owens match, you've seen them all. They're very formulaic. And, like, I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying I could probably write out a Kevin Owens match piece for piece and he'll probably do everything that I'll say in the match. Like he's very samey. At the moment, I don't think a heel turn could save that. I don't care. Like I this is the match coming into that I cared the least about. I did not care about this match. I don't care about Cody Rhodes' stupid little crap title run. I don't care about Kevin Owens. Like I say, at the moment, he bores me. The whole tag team title run last year with Sami Zayn bored me. Like the whole everything that he's done this year has bored me. The whole thing with Logan Paul bored me. He's not been interesting since about that steel cage match he had with Roman Reigns on like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever the hell it was. I don't even remember when that was. Maybe 2020. Like I say, I love Kevin Owens. I really do. But he's just done nothing for like 4 years, and it's really ground me down in terms of my enjoyment of his matches. Like the stuff that he did with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, I did not care about. Everything that he's done lately, and it's not even his fault. It's the creative that he's been given.
But his matches, like, his
matches though,
match the same.
Well, this is what I mean. Like creative with the storytelling, but it doesn't help with the fact that his matches are very formulaic, and they have never changed. Yeah. Like they have never changed, even from NXT. You go back and look at the first match that he had with John Cena. He's doing the exact same things that he did in that match, and he's doing now. Like nothing has changed. He even does that.
Like a lot of matches at the moment have been doing that. Like look at Andrade and Carmelo's like back and forth matches. They have.
Oh, back in a second, guys. Just in the bathroom.
Yeah.
No worries. I just don't think it helps with. No, you're right. I just don't think it helps with the fact that how long Kevin Owens has been around for. You seem to notice it more with guys like that. I mean, people take breaks and come back. Like you don't notice it with Randy Orton as much because he's been around for like nearly 25 years, but he's just come back after being away for 18 months, 19 months. You don't really notice it with Carmelo Hayes because he's been on NXT killing it with different kinds of opponents. You don't notice it with Andrade because he was in AEW recently. Now he's only just coming back. But with Kevin Owens, he has consistently been in WWE for like 12 years, having the same match. And I'm just kind of over it. And I've not really wanted to say it because like it's not me really saying I don't like Kevin Owens. It's more of a case of I just need a break. I need a break for a little bit.
And I get what you're saying because like me and G had quite a thorough conversation about this where we said part of us just has a general need a break from wrestling at times because some things don't massively grip you or a lot of the same happening constantly as this issue.
It's one of those things, and I never want to feel about a superstar that I like. I never want to feel like this. But whenever I hear Kevin Owens' theme song, you know, when it's like, you know, there's like a beatdown going on in the ring, or like, you know, when there's like a surprise coming out or something, and I hear Kevin Owens' theme song, I go, ugh. I never want that. I never want that reaction. But I have it. I have it with him.
No, and I get why you do, because obviously the whole, as you explained there, constantly having him do the same thing and it gets repetitive. And like as you said, he's been constantly fighting this bloodline and it's gotten nowhere for him. It's just the same shit. Like it's the running joke of, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same shit and expecting a different result. That's basically what they're putting Kevin Owens through, and it's happening to him.
At this point, I would genuinely send him to NXT. I'm not even joking.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see him have some more fun back in black and gold.
Yeah, but I would genuinely send him back to NXT. Like I'm just kind of over it. And I know that's like rich me saying send him back to NXT when I'm the one who covers the fucking show, so I'll have to see him every week anyway. But like, I feel like there's more chance.
No, but I can understand where you're coming from. Like, obviously, I'll go back and listen to the podcast and listen to the clip that I missed when I went to the bathroom just then. But like the thing with you, and I find this really like admirable, is if you're coming to the table with a different like opinion and point, you're able to say, this is what I don't like and this is why. You've just explained to us why you're a little bit burnt out with Kevin Owens,
rather than just saying, oh, I'm burnt out with Kevin Owens, I don't want to see him anymore, and that's the end of it. Like, you've literally just explained it in terms of before I left as well too. Like, you'd said his matches are very formulaic, they're not really booking him very well. Like, you've given reasons as to why like this isn't working for you and like why you want to see it improve. You're not wrong. Like, there are times where I watch people on Raw, SmackDown, and I'm kind of like, I'm not over you as a person because it's not your fault, but just what I'm seeing, I'm not resonating. I'm not excited to see it at the moment, and we need to switch it up a little bit. And I don't know if maybe they've fallen into the same problem with Kevin Owens and maybe they don't realize it's a problem, but I would like to see Kevin Owens with a little bit more edge, you know, like you said, take him down to NXT, remind him of who he is and have him come back to the main roster reinvigorated, re-excited to, you know, accomplish some goals. I don't even know, maybe have him swap over to Raw. Maybe he needs just to change his scenery.
That'd be cool.
Just a change of anything. Like I say, absence makes the heart grow fond. And I was just saying to these guys, and I don't know if you heard, like, I never want to feel like this when I see a superstar like that I like. But when I hear his theme song nowadays, I'm like, ugh. Like I never want to feel like that with Kevin Owens because I love Kevin Owens. I've been watching him since NXT, but I'm just over it. And like, I'll give like a non-biased example. Right, the way I feel like Kevin Owens is how I understand the way people feel about Roman Reigns when he was champion. I get it. I understand it. I understand why it wasn't people's cup of tea. Like, that's me being understanding. Like, if you don't like it, that's fine. I'm like, but you know, I do. You were just talking about a heel turn for Kevin Owens. I don't really want to see that. I don't really want to see him at all right now. But that's fine.
I don't want that as the heel. I want Cody to be the heel turn. I don't see Kevin doing a heel.
You just pull out the unexpected. But as you've just said, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I've seen people online, and I feel the same way about this. They're like, oh my God, I can't wait for Charlotte Flair to come back.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't mind seeing them.
Spend some time away, give them a chance to miss them, and then when they come back, it's like, oh, cool, let's see what they do. I'm excited for when she comes back.
I think what the really cool thing is with ourselves is that we can all formulate the exact reasons why we're not happy with a wrestler at the moment, or we're not happy with certain decisions, and that we just don't we don't hit the I don't like this because I don't like it. It's there's actually like a formulated reason.
We're able to articulate our reasons.
100%. Yeah. Like I'm not just sat here. I've not just sat here and gone, I don't like Kevin Owens because he's crap. Because I don't think he's crap. I just don't want to see him right now. Yeah.
Well, that's what I think. Look, I've got that with some AEW guys right now. Of I don't like certain bookings they've done. It's not that I don't like the wrestler. I've literally followed AEW since it was created. I just don't like some of the storylines they've been put in now. And this is no disrespect to Christian Cage because I think he is one of their most absolute goated wrestlers. But every time I see Christian Cage now getting back involved with the title picture in AEW, I do the exact same thing as you with like just going, oh, it's Christian Cage again. And I get why they're doing that. I get why they're pushing it because of the work he does. I understand it. But I've always saw AEW as this talent of push new talent, push new agenda. And Christian constantly being in these title picture situations just hinders other talent from those situations personally. It just sucks. Like G made a perfect example. G barely watches AW, but she watched Wembley because she was interested in some of the stuff was going, and I was giving her the play-by-play.
No, I just didn't want to be left out because everybody was there and I was
She literally turned around and was like, oh, that number one contender, I would love for Ricochet or some of the other guys to win. And then when Christian Cage won, she was like, oh, how did Christian Cage even win? And I
don't keep up with it as much as I used to, but I was listening to a lot of different people's thoughts and opinions from All In, and that was my same reaction too. I was like, why do you just have a debuting Ricochet and like not even take that opportunity?
I didn't say Ricochet to win. I said Nigel McGuinness because Danielson. I had Danielson to win. So if Nigel McGuinness
he was never not going to win.
It would have been Nigel versus Danielson. And it would have been what everyone's been wanting for years. Literal years.
Yeah.
We can still get it. We can still get it.
There's potential
of course.
Get it, but still, like, you know.
So we've got one match left to talk about.
We do have one match left to talk about, but first I'm going to go around the table again. G, yay or nay for Cody versus KO?
Oh, yay. 100% yay.
Okay. Ross, yay or nay?
I'm gonna say nay, just because as I said, the ring work was great. They can always do a good match, but like once again, the outcome just didn't hit. I really felt like it was shock value more than anything, and for once, Kevin Owens didn't turn heel, and I think that's why it's been put in higher regard. So for me, it's still a nay. I kind of expected a lot more from it.
And again,
Court, yay or nay?
Nay for the outcome, but yay for the potential for Kevin Owens.
Okay, I'm going to give it a nay because like the whole. Yeah, I'm going to give it an A just for the whole like tangent that I just went on. But finally, let's move on to the main event, and I demand your gratitude for the World Heavyweight Championship match of Gunther versus the Viper Randy Orton. Now I'm going to go to Ross. What did you think of the Ring General versus the Viper?
I'm going to get so much flack for this. I thought Randy did not look great in that match. I think Gunther overpowered the hell out of him and made Randy actually look really rusty. The way Gunther was powerbombing him, the way Gunther was just stopping RKOs, the way Gunther was just hitting him ridiculously hard, to a point where Michael Cole was like, he had neck and back surgery. Like, we thought he'd never come back, and look what Gunther's doing to him. I was so sold on the fact of Gunther's going to end up injuring Randy again. What the fuck?
But that's all a part of the storyline, though. That's all a part of like Gunther's like aura.
I was so sold on Gunther's hype train of how he was in the ring and in that match. Anytime I saw Randy get a little bit of momentum or that kind of shock value, oh my god, he's sunk in. I was like, bro, this ain't it. You're gonna die. So like, for me, I loved start to finish. I love Samantha calling it in, and then Ludwig being like, no.
That was so
my
good.
turn.
I love his introduction of Gunther every single time.
Yeah.
We haven't had that for a long time, so it just felt so good. And then I saw it on social media a couple of days later, and they posted the clip, and then Samantha Irvin had commented like, "No apologies necessary." She's like, "I get why you did it. I understand why."
Yeah, I know. I really loved seeing the moment where Gunther like hit multiple chops to Randy, and Randy just took that sit down moment of like, oh. I now get what people mean by Gunther's chops.
He's
this man has been like a veteran for like nearly 25 plus years, and he took a second moment to be like, oh,
he's like,
that's
I ain't ready
what
for
he
this.
can hit like. I don't know if there was something in the air, but Gunther was on extra levels that night. To me, it's a perfect match. I love Gunther retaining. I've already said this. Give him a fucking long reign. Randy did not need to be the guy to win. Randy's guy to go after is Cody Rhodes, in my perfect opinion, as I already said this when we were talking about Cody's match. And Reese, I'll already pre-beat you. It is a yay from me.
Oh, okay. G, what did you think of this match?
Now, don't hate me. But do you remember when I said I fell asleep through Rhea and Damien? Yeah, I never woke up again for the rest of the night.
Oh my god.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, they were the last two matches of the night, so that is understandable that you fell asleep.
I literally fell asleep halfway through the mixed tag match, and I never woke up again. And I haven't had time to go back and watch it. So I don't really have much of a comment on this match other than, am I happy Gunther retained? Absolutely. So yeah, that's all you're gonna get from me.
Nice.
Fair enough. Court, what did you think?
A lot of what Ross said, I don't really feel the need to repeat myself. This was also something that I felt that the story going into it was more interesting than the actual physical match. But the match actually really outshone the story for me in this aspect. I think the winning was the right call, and I'm excited to see where Randy goes. But yeah, it was a really great match, and you could just see that Randy in the match as well too. As Ross said, when he got chopped, I feel like Randy had like an out of body experience, being like, "Oh shit, I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready." He like came back to reality, and he was like, "Oh, like I actually have to do this." Was it as good as their Saudi match? Probably not for me, but I still think that they both. I don't know, but I think because in the Saudi match they were both equally matched for moves, whereas this one felt very Gunther dominant, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I just
Hey,
I still like the match.
At least this one, it was a proper 3 count.
Yes. Yep. So
Yeah.
it's also a yay from me as well too. I'll preempt you on that one.
I'll give you a yay because Gunther won.
No, I'll give you a third option if you want. You can have a snooze if you want. Because
No,
you wasn't
We
aware.
needed that earlier.
She got hit by the 8th CM Punk.
No.
GTS.
He should have given her. He should have said a yay, nay, or a GTS, and she could have gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think, Reese?
What did I think? Right, honestly, I'm going to disagree with both of you in terms of like Gunther dominated match. I thought Randy Orton looked like $1 million in this match, and it was all down to the selling of Gunther. Gunther sold his ass off for Randy Orton in this match, like all the way down to like the DDTs, the friggin' like the backdrops onto the announce table, like everything Randy did. Like Gunther made him look amazing, and it was the most vulnerable Gunther's looked since not just he won the World Championship, since he won the IC title. I thought the story was really well told in terms of Gunther. Kind of like he's beaten like a lot of people in WWE, but now he's like sort of entering himself into like the upper echelon of talent because he's got that world title. Obviously now, like, you know, now that you've won the title, you're gonna have to take on your Randy Ortons of the world. You're gonna have to take on eventually your Seth Rollins of the world. You know what I mean? Like, you know, actual proper big stars now. Like, obviously, he's taking on the Sami Zayns and stuff like that. But like, you're entering like Hall of Famer level matches and opponents now. So I thought Randy Orton looked really good in this match. And like I say, it was down to Gunther, because I do agree with what Ross said. He looked not rusty, maybe a bit sluggish. I don't know. I don't know what it was. But I understand what you're saying with that. But I think Randy Orton looked mint because Gunther was so good in this match. I love the selling from Gunther. Like the fact that Randy Orton was working on the shoulders was really, really cool. So we couldn't hit like the hard maneuvers like the power bombs and like I think
and the way that like Gunther's shoulder gave out when he was trying to do that as well. I think they both know how to sell for each other. Like that's you've got two of the best sellers in the industry going up against each other. Like,
exactly. And
forgot to mention, I swear this has been the last, like one of the only times in like a long time Randy's actually passed out from a submission move.
I don't know that statistic, but I do know another statistic going into this match. If Randy Orton would have tapped out in this match, it would only be the 20th time in his career that he would have tapped out ever.
That's what I think it was. People were saying like he has rarely ever tapped out in a match.
He's rarely tapped out. He's only tapped out 19 times, and most of them were to Cena in the STFU. Because them two have had like that massive rivalry together. But Randy Orton very rarely taps out, and like the way he passed out in the sleeper hold, I didn't think this means like Randy Orton loses any momentum. He still looks mint if he wants to go back to SmackDown.
He's still Randy fucking Orton, for God's sake.
Exactly. Like, no. I mean, he still looks strong if he wants to go back to SmackDown and challenge like Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. If he wants to turn heel and go in a little bit of a storyline with Rhodes, I don't think it loses him any momentum. I also really like the fact that Gunther like shook his hand at the end of the match. Kind of like a bit of a passing of the torch moment. I really love that. I thought that was great because. Kind of like how Randy Orton was back in the day and how he is now, Gunther has that kind of like methodical style like a Randy Orton does. Like he moves a little bit faster than the Viper, but for me, like Gunther does have that kind of like methodical, hard-hitting moves and stalks the opponent ready for the next hard-hitting move. So he's very like Randy Orton in that sense. I really like this match. I thought for me it was easily the best match on the card. Very easily the best match on the card. For me, this was like a one-match PLE, to be honest with you, and this was the one that I was looking forward to, and this is the one that just delivered. I'm glad that they managed to settle and got a better result than the King of the Ring ending. I agree with what Ross said. I think this was a better match than the King of the Ring one. Not just because of the ending, just because of the crowd. The atmosphere was great.
The crowd, shout out to the crowd for the chants they were doing in that.
The crowd was on fire during the entire show. Like
it was.
So good.
Even though it was the UK chants.
They were so on during the entire thing.
The crowd, like I said, the crowd, the in-ring work, the in-ring psychology from both of them was really, really good. And just fair play to Gunther. like he has been put on pedestal after pedestal since he started in WWE. And like we did this quiz a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? Where I give you the stat that Gunther's held the championship in WWE for 75% of the time that he's been in the frigging company. And ever since, like he got given the UK Championship, then it was the Intercontinental Championship. Now it's the World Championship, King of the Ring. Like he just over delivers on everything. And for anyone who says he's got like a weakness in his game, like a promo, you are absolutely out of your mind. Like
these promos.
It really just goes to show that like if you give Gunther the ball, he will not only run with it, but he will, as you say, exceed your expectations. And 100%. I don't know if you guys caught this on Raw, but his cadence in his promos sometimes is a little bit slow, so much so to the point where it encourages the watch hunt because they have just decided that, you know, watching people is okay than actually, you know, rather than listening to the person. Whereas like Gunther adapted his promo cadence on the fly to not let that happen throughout the rest of the promo. I don't know if you guys saw that, but in the first part of it, he was getting watted, and then the second part, he sped up a little bit so it wouldn't happen. But yeah, to all those people that still said, I don't understand why Gunther's world champion. Okay.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
I would love to be able to agree with you, but I don't because I see sense in this situation. I see it. I see the vision. I see sense. I understand it.
He makes people around him.
G, did you see the part about Sami Zayn coming back?
Oh, no.
So Sami came back because I was just going to give you the Raw recap now, since I don't know if you're going to go see it, but it's to do with Gunther. So Sami came back and they basically were talking about all these different champions that had won the IC title and then have gone up to the World Heavyweight. And Gunther said to Sami that that's not going to be you, but Sami wants to go up for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, okay.
And so Sami's like, you know fully well that I'm the only person on the main roster that has beaten you.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've been at Mania. So that's maybe where they're going to go. Because it was rumored that it was going to be Punk and Gunther next, but I think they're going to do that at Survivor Series. So this is a good way to have Gunther still doing something between now and then. So maybe we might get these two a bad blood. I don't know.
Sami being Gunther's kryptonite is kind of an interesting aspect, but I don't kind of want that because if Gunther loses to Sami,
he won't. He's not.
No, he won't. This is where Gunther gets his win back. There, definitely. Also, Sami Zayn needs to do his homework because I know technically it was on NXT, but he said he's the only person who's on the main roster who's beat Gunther. Well, Braun and Ilya are also there now, my guy. So no, you're wrong.
Preach.
But
also Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne did beat him.
Yeah, no, Pete Dunne's beat him in a couple of matches before, but then
what before he came to WWE because they didn't beat him in WWE.
No, he did beat him in WWE for a non-tag match,
Maybe we should do like a Gunther quiz one day.
Did it? Did he?
I don't know. You guys can research this in your own time.
Right, I'll be back in a moment. Give me 2 seconds.
You're blowing my mind. Right. Well.
Food.
So we're talking about we're talking about this weekend in Bash and Berlin. Did any of you guys get to check out NXT No Mercy?
I saw little bits of it.
I watched
little pieces.
Hell yeah!
Did you see it debuted?
Oh, it was a really good pay-per-view. In my opinion, better than Bash and Berlin in terms of consistency, in terms of matches. I thought the whole show was very, very good. Did anyone have like a highlight that they've seen from that show that they like what I mentioned?
The debut of Julia.
Hell yeah, debut of Julia. That's going to be great.
She looked so good.
The NXT women's division is just getting stronger and stronger, like week by week, man. Like unbelievable. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Roxanne Perez finally growing on me. She's finally having some good matches.
I can't get behind it.
I just think it was weird that on commentary Vic Joseph was like, the rumors are true, but it's like she was in the crowd for Stand and Deliver. Like we already knew she was coming. You could have just been like, the day we've all been waiting for is finally here, instead of saying like the rumors are true. Like we already knew she was signed with WWE. It was only a matter of time. It's the same with Stephanie Vacker and then Delta and then Jordan Grace eventually. Like, because her contract's now been altered, so she's going to be finishing earlier than what she actually was meant to be with TNA. But hey, what would I know?
Julia.
Yeah, it was a weird way of putting it.
Anyway,
so So the highlight of that night for me was it's probably the women's championship match. To be honest, like Jada Parker really shone with the spotlight on her. I thought she was going to crumble. To be honest with you, because that was one of the first big matches that she's had. But no, she did really well against Roxanne Perez. I think she had a great dance partner in there in Perez. She had a really good performance. Both women did. The ending was great, where Jada Parker was sort of hip check into the barricade, falls through it. Pop rocks and then pop rocks in the ring. Jada Parker looks great in defeat. Oba Femi versus Tony D'Angelo under-delivered for me, but it was still a solid match. I didn't think Oba was going to get beaten by Tony D, but I was expecting a little bit more. Wendy Chu versus Kalani Jordan for me under-delivered. I really thought Wendy Chu should have won. I thought Wendy Chu should have won the championship there. I still don't think Kalani Jordan's ready for a championship, and I thought Wendy Chu outshone her in every single way in that match. Unfortunately. I thought the tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships, you got Fraxium and Chase U. Wrong decision, in my opinion, to have Fraxium win that again, because I don't care about that tag team. They're not a real tag team. The two single stars who happen to be good mates together. At the same time, I'm a bit conflicted about it because it actually makes Ridge Holland look interesting for once. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do with it. I really like the promo that he cut on NXT. And it's like I said in my review, he said a lot of he made a lot of good points in his promo. Like he made
you relevant again. I
made Chase U relevant. I called in all my favors, and we finally won a championship. Like you guys, I gave you guys a championship match. You failed, but I still called in another favor to give us one more championship match. Right? We won, and then because of mediocrity, I lost my championship because of Andre Chase. I was like, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Like you're kind of right.
You can't hate when he's right.
Yeah, like there's nothing better than a heel when they have justification for being a heel. Like there's nothing better than that in wrestling. It's but yeah, the main event as well. Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry for the NXT Championship. Again, another match for me that kind of under-delivered. I fully expected something else to go on with. But I did enjoy the match. I didn't think Joe Hendry was going to win in the slightest, but I did think Trick Williams. Well, maybe. Well, for me, like the biggest thing coming out of that match was I was having a conversation on TikTok Live with a couple of people who were saying it's weird because Joe Hendry looks more of a WWE wrestler than Ethan Page does, and he's the NXT champion. And in my opinion, I think that's because Ethan Page has come in and won that championship way too quickly. I think he needs to adjust to the way that WWE works in the ring. He feels very out of place. A lot of the time does Ethan Page. It's not always a bad thing. I still think he's great in the ring, but Joe Hendry for me looks like he could be in the main event of a WWE main roster pay-per-view right now, and he wouldn't look out of place. He looks unbelievable.
Only a matter of time.
Definitely, and I think it is only a matter of time until we're seeing him on Raw or SmackDown, Joe Hendry. But as for the match itself, like I said, I thought Trick Williams was going to have a bigger part to play. I thought Pete Dunne was going to have a bigger part to play in the ending of that match. But yeah, I really have no complaints for No Mercy, to be honest with you. For me, like I said, better than bashing Berlin, but that's just my opinion.
I agree.
Noise.
But yeah, guys, any more final thoughts before I wrap it up?
No,
I got one last one. Julia. Having her debut was awesome.
Oh, we spoke
about that when you were gone.
No. But I didn't get to say. I don't know if you guys realized on her vignette on the background, they changed it on NXT when she came out yesterday. It's a tribute to Hannah because it was Hannah's birthday. Hannah is one of the Stardom wrestlers that sadly passed away at a very young age. Julia was really good friends with her, so she did a tribute for it. Yeah.
That's really
dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just
that's
really
amazing. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's fucking well cool. Quick shout out to Chelsea Green, by the way, who absolutely killed it on NXT this week. Very funny.
I loved the freaking sell that she did as well.
She's
the
so
knee
good.
Julia hit her with, and Chelsea just like fumble dropped. I was like, yeah.
Love it.
Did you see the video that she posted after she came backstage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very funny. I love that when she was walking down to the ring, she says, just before I carry on, why does this part of the audience smell of mildew and BO? It's called deodorant. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, Chelsea, man. You're just great. You are great.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll do anything for my fans. Well, most of them. Some of them are creepy.
Which is just the best things to say.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, Hammond Adam Page burning down Spurs Strickland's home was very interesting.
Yes, this fire burns. This fire burns. AEW still making CM Punk references.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, AEW fans. God, Jesus Christ. It's real glass. Anyway. Right.
I just thought it was cool.
No, yeah, it was cool. I saw the clip of it. It was very good. Speaking of very good, actually, it was a lie. It was terrible. Thank you for tuning in to the reactions of Bash in Berlin. I have been Rudy Pucandias, aka Reese. Obviously, you can follow all of these guys on their individual channels as well. Also, go follow Outcasted on TikTok /X/Instagram, whatever you want to call it. And also go follow the channel on YouTube, which you're currently watching us on, so that makes it very easy. You can hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and then hit the bell so you never miss a video. Go check out the review from Courtney from Monday Night Raw that came out on Tuesday. Yesterday was my NXT review, and then stay tuned for Saturday, where you're going to be getting a SmackDown review, which should be very interesting to see what's going to happen after the fallout from Bash in Berlin. But for now, guys, it is a Guten Tag from me, a Guten Tag, and then an Auf Wiedersehen also, because we're saying goodbye till next week. Take care, guys. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.